Hey yo, football fans, it's another great year. Fantasy football fiends, grab your beer. Giving you the best draft tips for your picks. Starts and sits to the waiver wire fix. From my drafts galore to stats that's hardcore. Triple F does it all, have y'all screaming more. So sit back, relax, let the experts prevail. JT Magnum, Siggy guns never fail. What's up, fantasy football fans? My name is JT Magnum. Welcome to week 9 of our Stardom Situm show. Siggy is not with me this week. He's busy doing something. Not sure what he's doing, but he's a little busy, and I have to get this video out this week, so I'm doing it solo this week. Teams on a bye this week. We're going to talk about that real quick. The bye teams are the Lions, the Chiefs, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Ravens, and the Texans. A lot of stuff going on this week. Let's get right into it. Let's get into the injury report. Matt Forte is down. I'm not sure for how long. Might be a week or two. I believe it's some kind of MCL problem. Le'Veon Bell, done for the year. Keenan Allen, looks like he's done for the year. He has a lacerated kidney, or something's definitely wrong with Keenan Allen. Carlos Hyde might be done for the year, might have a season-ending foot surgery. Reggie Bush is gone, not really a big thing. I don't even know why I'm talking about him. Ryan Fitzpatrick hurt his thumb. Might need surgery on that as well, but he looks like he still might play. It's the non-throwing hand that he hurt, so he's able to throw, but when you're catching the ball and from the center, that pounding that the constant ball hitting your thumb and stuff like that, that could probably mess with your thumb a little bit. And he has ligament damage, so that could really hurt. Kyrie Robinson, I believe, is done for the year. Torn MCL or ACL. Colin Kaepernick, not injured, but benched in favor of Blaine Gabbert. So he's gone. Vernon Davis also was traded. That's other news too for you guys. But that's it for now. So let's get into Rewind. We're going to talk about last week's starts. The good start for me last week was Eli Manning. 38 points through 6 touchdown passes. Believe it or not, Drew Brees was better through 7. It was crazy. Crazy game there. 13 touchdown passes in one game alone. The bad start I had was Kendall Wright with 2.80 points. Sorry about that. I believe he got hurt in that game too. He was out for a little while. Siggy's good start was Phillip Rivers with 24.04 points. These are all according to NFL.com, of course, as usual. His bad start was actually Vernon Davis with 2.40 points. My good sit of the week was James Jones. Couldn't do anything. Neither could Aaron Rodgers. Neither could anybody on Green Bay. But James Jones had 0.20 points. My bad sit, I always have the worst sit always. But Derek Carr with 29.12 points. I had him as a sit. And, of course, he goes off against the Jets. Siggy's good sit was Des Bryant with 1.20 points. And his bad also was Derek Carr with 29.12 points. So that was Siggy's. And let's get into the Adam and Bag'em. I'm only going to bring up one, and that's Vernon Davis. He is going to be available on pretty much every waiver wire there is. So if you have a chance to grab him now. I'm going to say Adam. He's going with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning makes tight ends look great. And with a weapon like Vernon Davis, he's only going to shine under Peyton Manning. You know it. You know it's coming. As soon as he grasps a little bit of that offense, it's over. It's over for teams that are just keying on those wide receivers for Denver. Peyton Manning's going to be able to throw to Vernon Davis pretty much anytime he wants. And you know how he is. He drops balls right in there. Whether or not he's got an arm or not, he's going to be able. It's going to even lift Peyton Manning's stock back up. He's going to have another weapon at his disposal to be able to use. And now he's got 2 running backs. He's got two wide receivers and 2 pretty good tight ends. So sky's the limit right now for Peyton Manning. So definitely add Vernon Davis. Let's get right into the waiver wire. The first one's D'Angelo Williams. I have Jeremy Langford and Malcolm Floyd, and I'll talk about Malcolm Floyd. Keenan Allen is out. Malcolm Floyd stepped up, scored a touchdown, I believe, last week, had like 70 yards receiving. But here's a guy, he's a little older, he's a good veteran, and Phillip Rivers trusts him. Stevie Johnson's been hurt pretty much most of the year. He's been on and off the field. So look for Floyd to take over that number one spot besides Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was getting a lot of catches. He was on a record pace at this point in the season, and now Malcolm Floyd gets to take the reins. And Malcolm Floyd, I mean, he's not Keenan Allen, but he's definitely a serviceable wide receiver. So look for him definitely in the waiver wire. He's going to be available. Not many people have Malcolm Floyd unless you're in a deep league. Let's get right into the sit-em now, or the starts, I'm sorry. The quarterbacks, Matt Ryan, Peyton Manning, and Derek Carr. And I'm going to talk about Matt Ryan. They're playing the 49ers, my team. Everybody's played the 49ers, has been able to pass on them pretty much. You've been able to gain all kinds of yards. And I don't see the 49ers stopping Julio Jones. I don't see him stopping Roddy White. I don't see him stopping anybody at this point. It's kind of like a train wreck right now going on in San Francisco. It's sad to say. And I think Matt Ryan's going to go off this week. So he's a definite must start. Running backs. Jeremy Hill, LaShawn McCoy, Ronnie Hillman, and I talk about the people that go against Cleveland, but you've heard it all before. You know why I'm starting Jeremy Hill against Cleveland. You could start Giovanni Bernard against Cleveland as well. You might as well start both of them because I think both of them are going to go off. But I'm going to talk about Ronnie Hillman. Ronnie Hillman has taken over and he's done a great job. C.J. Anderson had a great week last week, but Ronnie Hillman got the start, and Ronnie Hillman played just as well as C.J. Anderson, and he got a couple touchdowns, and I really like Ronnie Hillman a lot, especially against this Colt defense who gives up a lot on the ground. They've been serviceable at times, but not enough the way Denver is planning on running the ball. And now that Denver's got added weapons in Vernon Davis and those wide receivers still around, they're going to be able to run the ball pretty well in Indianapolis. So look for Ronnie Hillman to get 100 yards and a couple touchdowns this week. So let's talk about the wide receivers. My three wide receivers are Mike Evans, Rashard Matthews, and Alshon Jeffrey at San Diego. And I'll talk about Rashard Matthews. Jarvis Landry is going to be covered by, of course, Stephon Gilmore, who had a great game against, I forgot who it was not too long ago, but Stephon Gilmore is turning into a pretty good shutdown corner, and Rashard Matthews is on the opposite side, and I really like him against that Buffalo secondary, who's given up a lot of pass yards. They have given up yards this year, but not to the number one wide receivers, it seems like. It seems like the number one wide receivers haven't been getting that much, but Rashard Matthews obviously is the number two, next to Jarvis Landry, and I like him against that Bills defense, against that secondary, to get a lot of targets, and I look for him to actually have the bigger game of the two between him and Jarvis Landry this week. So for tight ends, I have Charles Clay, Antonio Gates, and Delaney Walker. And let's talk about Gates. With Keenan Allen out, they're going to lean on Gates more, Phillip Rivers will, especially with Ladarius Green now gone as well. He's questionable. I doubt he was even going to play. He might be doubtful. I'm not sure. You might have to check on Ladarius Green. He's another guy I should have mentioned in the injury report, but I forgot. But remember it now, of course. But Antonio Gates is a guy that obviously Phillip Rivers trusts dearly, and with Keenan Allen gone, he's going to be the main focal point on that offense, as he always should be, and he always finds a way to get open. The guy just finds a way, and against Chicago's defense, who haven't been giving up that much passing yards and haven't been that kind of wide receivers, I still like him going against them, especially with Phillip Rivers. They have pretty much no choice but to pass. Seems like they're always passing, so I really like him this week. Defenses, I have the Falcons, the Vikings, and the Patriots. And I'll talk about the Patriots. The Patriots have been surprisingly good on defense. They started off the year bad against Pittsburgh, but it's Pittsburgh. You know, that's a tough offense, Ben Roethlisberger and everything. But they have pretty much shored up their secondary a little bit. They're playing really tough, hard-nosed defense on the outside. They're really run stuffing very well now. They've started to pretty much stuff everybody on the run. And the defense is gelling. They have a crazy set of linebackers. They have a good interior defensive line. And like I said, they weren't expected to do well at the beginning of the year, but this team just always, I don't know what it is, the Bill Belichick thing or whatever, or his game planning or whatever, but they always manage to somehow stuff teams. And with them going against Washington and Kirk Cousins, I don't like Washington's chances going against that defense this week. So definitely a must start is the Patriots. So let's get into the sits. My first three sits is Andrew Luck, Blake Bortles and Eli Manning for quarterbacks. And Eli Manning had a great game last week, but I just don't think he's going to do well against that Tampa Bay secondary, especially in Tampa. It's a little different when they're on the road. And I don't like Eli Manning to throw 6 touchdown passes again. I don't think it's going to happen. They're not playing the New Orleans secondary, and I do like Manning's weapons. I do like the way they play offense, but against Tampa, it's a little bit different. They play a little bit harder nosed defense in Tampa, and I like Manning, but I don't think he's going to get 6 touchdown passes. More like maybe 1 or 2, but he might throw some picks in this game. So let's get into the running backs. TJ Yeldon, D'Angelo Williams, and Frank Gore for my sits. And I'll talk about D'Angelo Williams. He's been surprisingly good. And, of course, when Le'Veon Bell was out for those 4 games or a couple games, he had 2 really good games. It was against San Francisco and against New England, who at the beginning of the year was not doing very well against the run because they were just, like I said, they were a team that was just starting to figure out, their identity. And that was the first game of the season. And Oakland's been stuffing the run pretty well. They've been a really good, solid team against the run. Their problem has been against the pass mostly. And I really, really like Oakland's chances against D'Angelo Williams this week. I think Pittsburgh's going to pass the ball a lot more, and I see D'Angelo Williams not having a great week this week. So let's get into the wide receivers. They're T.Y. Hilton, Brandon Cooks, and Randall Cobb. I'll talk about T.Y. Hilton playing Denver. Pretty much anybody that's played Denver has been shut down drastically. You saw it last week. With Green Bay. Holy crap. Green Bay couldn't even pass the ball to save their lives. Denver secondary was flying all over the field. They're just there was one point where Aaron Rodgers had 20 seconds back there to pass and still couldn't find an open receiver because Denver secondary was all over him. That's how good this team is. And T.Y. Hilton's going to, it sucks because he just went against Josh Norman. I had him as a sit last week. He went against Josh Norman. He couldn't even, I think he caught 1 ball, maybe 2 balls at the most. And now he has to face Aqib Talib and Chris Harris. It's like, oh my goodness, the poor T.Y. Hilton. But he is definitely not a start this week. I would not start him. I know he's a stud, but you can't start him against that Denver secondary. Tight ends. I have Jordan Reed, Kyle Rudolph, and Jordan Cameron. I'll talk about Jordan Cameron. Buffalo has not been kind of tight ends whatsoever. I actually think that Clay is going to have the better game than Cameron this week, going against his former team in Miami. But Cameron, it just seems like Miami's starting to target Jarvis Landry more and the wide receivers, Matthews and Kenny Stills. They're starting to target them a lot more than they're starting to target Cameron. It's almost like they forget about Cameron until the end of the game and they just toss it up to him. But I don't think they're going to do that against the Bills. The Bills play really tough against tight ends. So let's get into the defenses. The defensive sits are the Packers, the Bills, and the Rams. And I'll talk about the Rams. Rams have been solid D at home, but they're not playing at home this time. They're playing at Minnesota against Adrian Peterson and against a hot Teddy Bridgewater, and I do not see the Rams and Stephon Diggs. And I don't see the Rams. I see the Rams competing with the Vikings, but I don't see them making all those big plays, getting a lot of sacks, and on top of that, being able to stop Adrian Peterson. So look for Adrian Peterson to run wild this week, especially on the road. The Rams just aren't the same team on the road. So look for the Rams to, I don't think they're a must start this week like they were last week against the 49ers. So that does it for the sits. Let's get into the sleepers. The 3 sleepers of the week are Jeremy Langford, Jameis Winston, and Malcolm Floyd. And I already talked about Malcolm Floyd earlier, but I'll talk about Jeremy Langford. Matt Forte is down. I'm not sure if he's going to be gone for a week or 2, but most likely he won't be in this week. And San Diego is giving up a lot of yards on the ground. I think some crazy number, like teams are averaging 10 yards a carry or something. San Diego just cannot stop the run. They're almost like the Cleveland Browns when it comes to that. And Jeremy Langford's a good, solid back, and Chicago likes to run the ball. They love play action. They love to run the ball. He's going to be catching the ball in the backfield just a la the way Matt Forte as well. So look for him, especially if you're in a PPR as well. Jeremy Langford's going to be a solid sleeper this week, and not many people have him, so he's going to be a good pickup. He's going to be one of the most coveted pickups this week. So that does it for the show. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the picks. Let me also know what you guys think, who to start this week. Don't forget to ask questions. I'll try to answer them as best I can. If I miss them, I'm sorry. I am in the process of moving. As you see here, a lot of stuff is gone. I'm starting to, move stuff here and there. But every week we've been trying to move stuff until the big move, which is on the 14th, which is next week actually. So This week I'll try to do the live show if I can. I'm not sure if I can because, like I said, I've been moving every week and it's been all day and all night moving stuff. And I'm moving into a house, from a house to a house, so it's a lot of stuff. So bear with me, guys. I don't know if I'll put the live show up. If I don't, I'll make sure I put a video up saying it's canceled. But always leave comments on that video. If I do cancel, leave comments on that video and I will get to them as best I can. And do everything I can to get to stuff. I mean, I try to get to Twitter messages. I try to scramble to get to stuff, but I do have a life, guys. You know how it is. I got things I gotta do. On Sundays I race home from church to get on my Twitter to like answer questions and to quickly get online to like answer questions for you guys before the games start and everything like that. So, and I have some people writing for me on the website. Hopefully soon. Hopefully they'll get the starts and sits on the website. I have some people doing that. I have some people doing the rankings, hopefully, and some other things, some waiver stuff. Siggy's doing his FanDuel stuff on there. Check Siggy's FanDuel lineups, man. The last couple weeks, he's actually had some pretty decent lineups that have won him. I think he played like $1 and won like $100 or something like that. One of my buddies played Siggy's lineup and adjusted it like a tiny little bit, and he won like I think like 70 or like $100. I've been winning still on FanDuel. I've only had one bad week where I haven't won any money at all. If I can put some FanDuels up for you, I will, or just ask FanDuel questions on there because I play every week now on FanDuel. I do not play DraftKings. I'm sorry. I can only play one. I mean, the wife is going to kill me if I'm gambling on two sites, so I stick to one. So definitely check those out. But yeah, leave your comments in the comment section. I'll get to them the best I can. All right. So best of luck this week, your week 9, and take care. And I'll see you next week, hopefully, for the next show. After that, I'll be away, so there might not be a show. I'm not sure after that because I'm leaving on the 21st to go to Florida, and I won't be back to the 28th. So I'm not sure if there's gonna be a show, guys. I'll try my best. We'll see what happens, but maybe Siggy will do one for me instead of me having to upload one. All right. So best of luck this week and take care. Peace.